Talking on camera for the very first time about his close friend, Pete Rose, who passed away 6 months ago.
That loss, incredibly emotional for Marty, who says he hasn't been ready to talk about it until now. WLWT News 5 anchor Lindsay Stone joining us with her one-on-one conversation with the man who was the voice of the Reds for almost 50 years. Lindsay?
We talked for more than an hour, and there were two moments that Marty became visibly emotional, talking about his love of Cincinnati and losing his dear friend, Pete Rose.
Somebody once told me that if you live a long life, and I'm in the midst of that right now because I'll be 83 in July, you're going to wake up one day and all your contemporaries are going to be gone.
In his first sit-down interview since losing his dear friend Pete Rose, Reds Hall of Fame broadcaster Marty Brennaman opens up about losing Pete and fellow Reds great Joe Morgan.
I can tell you as I sit here right now that no three guys had more fun than Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and Marty Brennaman did.
Morgan passed away in 2020, followed by Pete's passing in September of last year.
The Pete thing really hit hard for me because he and Joe Morgan were the two best friends I had in the game. And the way I broadcast baseball, and not too many players like me. And thank God Joe and Pete did. And I got along well with them.
Marty and Pete became close friends during their tenures with the Reds, which continued into retirement.
We had a great time together, and I told him 2 or 3 months before he died, I said, you know, the one great thing I love about you is the fact that you have not changed one iota, personality-wise, from the day I met you in 1974 until today.
One thing that did change.
He was such a macho guy that the word L-O-V-E would never pass his lips. It would never pass his lips. The last 20 years of his life, anytime I talked to him, whether it's in person or whether it was on the telephone, he'd say, I love you, Marty.
Marty shared Pete's love for Cincinnati and Cincinnati's love for Pete.
I think Pete knew that he was loved in this town by people. And that goes back to how provincial these people are. You know, they didn't, whatever Pete Rose did, they would readily admit it was wrong. But that never changed their affection for him. And the fact that he was a kid that grew up on the west side of Cincinnati and went to Western Hills High School and the whole 9 yards. He would have always been loved no matter what he did.
Pete was banned from the Hall of Fame back in 1986 after admitting to betting on baseball. Last month, the MLB commissioner agreed to consider a petition to admit him into Cooperstown.
I think it's an injustice, quite honestly, that he's going in now after he's gone.
Marty and Pete often spoke about the banishment.
He himself said before he passed away that if I am in the Hall of Fame, it won't be until after I'm gone. I think he came to that decision because of all the years that had passed with really not a whole lot of hope that it would ever happen.
For Marty, the answer is simple.
If I were his family, I would say thanks, but no thanks. We don't want it. You couldn't do it while he was alive to enjoy it. So, and Reds fans forever, baseball fans in general, I think if you polled them, if you could do a scientific poll, you would find that those who feel like he's already a Hall of Famer, whether he's actually in it or not, is a foregone conclusion.
Well, Marty was a fixture in the Reds broadcast booth for 46 years. The Reds just announcing that they will unveil a bronze sculpture of Marty outside Great American Ballpark later this fall, close to another bronze statue, that of his good friend, Pete Rose. Lindsay Stone, WLWT News 5.
Awesome.